A college professor gets completely stumped by a string of numbers his grade school son brings home. This instantly triggered his competitive drive, and he began studying it right away. He picked up a pen and wrote down the most obvious set of numbers. But after staring at it for a long time, he still had no clue. So he searched it online, and unexpectedly the first result was the date of a major disaster. What shocked him even more was that 2,996 matched the exact number of victims. This made John feel it was unbelievable. To find out if it was just a coincidence, he copied all the numbers onto a whiteboard. Over the next few hours, John went from confused to completely stunned, because almost every major disaster in recent decades matched the numbers on the paper, meaning the person who wrote these numbers 50 years ago accurately predicted the future. But John also noticed some numbers had an extra string of digits behind them. He had no idea what those meant. So early the next morning, John went to the school to find the former principal, hoping to learn who had written the numbers back then. The principal immediately recalled what happened 50 years ago. She had been a young teacher, and one of her students, Lucy, was extremely withdrawn. She never spoke to her classmates. When the school prepared a time capsule, she asked the students to draw their vision of the future. But Lucy filled the entire page with numbers. The teacher reminded her, but Lucy ignored her, writing line after line of dense numbers, thinking Lucy was being difficult. The teacher collected the paper and placed it into the time capsule. Later, she heard that Lucy stopped coming to school due to mental health issues, so the memory faded away. 50 years passed in a blink, and the school held an event to open the time capsule. When the rusty metal box was opened, the principal handed out the letters to the students. The kids happily opened theirs, except John's son, because he had received Lucy's letter. The boy stared in confusion, having no idea what the numbers meant. After school, he brought the strange paper home to John. After hearing everything, John rushed back to his workspace, eager to share his discovery with his colleague. According to the most recent set of dates, a disaster would happen in 2 days, and 81 people would die. But his colleague frowned, thinking John might be losing his mind. Seeing his colleague's disbelief, John knew predictions alone could not convince anyone. It happened to be raining that day. While stuck in traffic, John called his colleague, wanting to apologize for his earlier behavior. He too felt he might have overthought everything. But right then, the coordinates on the GPS screen suddenly jolted his memory. He remembered the numbers he had not understood. He quickly pulled out the paper to compare them, and those numbers were indeed geographic coordinates, and the coordinates predicting today's disaster were right near his current location. A strong sense of unease rose in John. He could no longer sit still, so he approached a traffic officer to ask about the situation. But before the officer could answer, his face suddenly turned pale, and he immediately ran the other way. John turned around to look. In that moment, John was completely certain the numbers on that paper were not a coincidence, but a real prophecy of disaster.